Hi, everybody. I'm Joel Simmons for another 2-minute Turf Talk. Recently, I've been watching a number of podcasts from the experts in our industry telling us that carbon-based fertility is no good because the plant doesn't need any more carbon. We're not trying to feed carbon to the plant. The plant is carbon. Carbon-based fertility, which has now been around since the late 80s, has been there to provide a food source for microbiology. Here's the easiest way we can explain this. Here's the nitrification cycle. So take a look at this. Let's start with, for example, urea as the nitrogen source. It could be any form of nitrogen. It could even be a carbon-based nitrogen. These are molecules that have to be broken down into plant-usable forms of nitrogen. So in this analogy here, in this graph here, you can see that urea, as our example, is going to be broken down into ammonium, NH4. That happens to be very volatile. And then it gets broken down into a nitrite, NO2, which is more stable, and then ultimately, again, broken down into nitrate, which is the form of nitrogen that the plant takes up so that it can start to build proteins intracellularly and start to work on making chlorophyll. Now, when we put down this nitrogen, it has to be broken down. All of these arrows are representing microbiology. Microbes are what are breaking down these molecules into plant-usable forms. And just like you and I need, or even our truck or our car needs, we need energy. So the carbon to nitrogen ratio, which is what we learned back in college and even high school days, is one of the most basic agronomic principles, and all it talks about is making sure there's enough food energy, available carbon. And yes, there's plenty of criticism saying, oh, there's plenty of carbon in the soil. Well, yeah, but it's not always available. It's often very lignous and undigestible. So all organic or carbon-based fertility is about is feeding microbes. It's not about trying to put carbon into the plant.